Manchester is a rich and colourful city, birthplace for famous authors, actors, scientists and political activists. But it's better known for its music. With bands like Joy Division, The Smiths, The Stone Roses and Oasis all hailing from the city, it's no surprise Manchester is the breeding ground for musical talent. Tony Wilson played a big part for Manchester in the music scene, but since his death in 2007 the city seems to have lost its voice. Will Manchester continue to generate new musical talent? Or will the bands of yesterday continue to provide the soundtrack for tomorrow?
I think Tony Wilson did a lot of stuff in Manchester, but he wasn't the whole story. I think the story's kind of got changed now that, at that time, it was him, he did everything. But there's all these other bands like the Smiths and the Stone Roses had nothing to do with Tony Wilson. They weren't manufactured on different labels, and they didn't come through the Hacienda. So I think that Tony's all kind of rock music histories, they get narrowed down to very, very narrow stories. Well, there's loads of other stuff going on as well.
The Hyena Kill are one of many bands in Manchester at the moment, hoping to have their music heard by the masses. But how easy is it? Does Manchester need another spokesperson?
You have to keep on going, you have to believe that the next song you're going to write is your best one, and you just have to struggle, and it is a struggle. People forget how difficult it was for us to establish Joy Division, how difficult it was for us to establish New Order, the trials and tribulations that the Stone Roses went through. It's a tough job, and you have to have the ultimate self-belief. And when someone tells you you're no good, you're nothing. And that's how you get ahead. You've got to keep on going. And that's the only advice you can give to anyone.
There was quite a lot of things I would suggest. So one of the key things is you've got to take it really seriously, rehearse a lot. What's it like James Strumroy's used to call it the 3 R's, write, rehearse, record. Obviously not spelled right, that's the joke. But that's really important, just keep writing stuff all the time. We talk about bands just starting off here. So if you've got 4 or 5 songs you think are really good, try and write 4 or 5 more and just rehearse non-stop.
It would seem the Hyena Kill are already doing the right thing. The question is, does Manchester still have a future in music?
Well, both me and Lorna, we're already in Manchester bands, so we're really good friends. So we just had a jam one day and realised that we had a bit of connection, so we started writing. Simple as that. And then we were mutual friends with Ollie anyway, so we got him in on bass, started writing a few songs and just progressed from there really. Mainly Oasis, because when I started playing guitar when I was 14, Oasis had just hit really big. So Noel Gallagher's writing and songs was just a big influence on me, especially as a young guitar player. Really were, and just the Stone Roses, fantastic musicianship. So they're the main 2 bands that I always think of.
It's no coincidence that 2 of the biggest bands that came out of Manchester that we used to rehearse next door to the Stone Roses and Oasis, and they rehearse every day. We used to think it's quite funny because Oasis do the same riff every day. They would practice one riff, our Vinyl Walrus, over and over again, endlessly, round and round and round, and you hear Noel go, stop, do it again, and be running that band. I mean, those bands worked hard, they had a real good work ethic.
When I think of bands from Manchester, my God, there's too many. There's too many bands from Manchester. I suppose, I'm more fixated on the factory side of it, so I always tend to think of Joy Division, New Order, Happy Mondays, all those, but my God, there's a lot. One of the weird things about Manchester is it consistently churns out loads of groups, and nobody knows why. And it eclipses nearly every city in the world, which I'm very, very happy about, but I still can't find an explanation.
I think, yeah, it's got a massive reach because there's loads of really good bands here, there's loads of venues here. There's the media's here, we've got the BBC at the doorstep, we've got it easy here, I mean, there's nothing to worry about Manchester. There's all the other towns I'm worrying about, you know, what the hell can they do in Doncaster? I don't think because you're geographically disadvantaged in a rubbish town, why you have any less talent, you know? Because I tour a lot, I see loads of good young bands in the towns, I feel a bit sorry for them, because they're kind of stuck out of the limb.
It's impossible for a band to get signed now. When New Order split in 2006, neither Bernard or I could get a deal off any record company. You ended up putting the records out yourself. And that, I suppose most people would go, wow, that's weird. You know, after all the success New Order had, after all the success Joy Division had, they couldn't get a deal. It's because they weren't interested in old musicians. The record companies wanted new bands.
Oh, definitely. I mean, like some of the bands that I know and hang around with, like phenomenal talent. Like if you only have to visit some of the open mics in town, such as like at the Brunswick every Thursday, my friends Near Medici run a night there. It's absolutely fantastic. The pool of talent in Manchester is unbelievable. It really does have a future, definitely.
Impossible question because there's so many bands come out of Manchester. I mean, obviously, I think at my age, I think of Joy Division, Buzzcocks, but then of course you think of all the Manchester stuff like the Mondays, the Roses. But then there's also the Smiths, New Order, the Fall, the Fall, and there's like loads of really good young bands in town now. I mean, that's the great thing about Manchester. You can't sum it up in one band. Like in Liverpool, you say the Beatles. I mean, that's a hell of a band to come out and see. But Manchester, I think the most important thing about Manchester is not about one band or one collection of bands. It's an endless conveyor belt of really inventive and interesting bands.
You know, there's no other city in England that you can name that's influenced, turned out as many groups as we have. My God, the list is endless. We should have a star walk around Manchester with all the bands that have, you know, done it. It's just one of those weird places. I do not know why. You know, but I'm happy to be part of it.
Whether Manchester will produce the next big thing is yet to be seen, but one thing's for sure. Whilst bands keep playing and collaborating and the people keep listening, it will always be the leading city for diverse music, and that's something Tony would be proud of.